can survive if I let you.
Cultivating nevermore.
Let the new era begin. The era of the ECW.
Oh my God!
This is extreme.
Greetings, ECW fans, and welcome back to This is Extreme, the ECW History Podcast. I am your host, Dave Dynasty. Like I said, welcome back. Hopefully you all missed This is Extreme and are excited that we are back. I couldn't stay away, guys. I had to get back into the ECW world, the Extreme world. And, you know, I had that itch. I wanted to bring back This is Extreme. There seemed to be a lot of support. The numbers stayed pretty strong on our episodes that were out there, despite nothing new coming out. So I was encouraged and felt driven to bring it back. So here we are. This is Extreme is back. We're now going to be a monthly podcast, at least for now. I don't want to overwhelm myself with this and the pressures of interviews and trying to do this weekly or anything. For now, it will be monthly. That may alter in the future, but for now, it'll be out the second Monday of each month. And for the first few episodes, I will be re-releasing some interviews that I did for my other podcast, Wrestling Nostalgia. I've had some guests on that fit that ECW mold. So I will be using those interviews as well here on this feed for any of you who don't listen to that podcast so that you can hear those ECW-based interviews as well. And now eventually there will be new podcast interviews exclusively for This is Extreme. So don't worry. Eventually we'll get back to exclusive content here for this podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on X. Just look for the ECW Pod or This is Extreme and you will find us. Also, be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube at youtube.com, The Dave Dynasty, for not only this podcast, but my other podcasts, other wrestling content that I do, as well as there might be some exclusive ECW and This is Extreme content that will be up there in video format. Okay, so before we dive into it, there's one bit of recent ECW kind of related news. As everybody probably knows, the Sandman has wrestled his final match. Now, it appears he'll still be doing appearances, and he'll still be doing his podcast. But for now, according to the man himself, no more matches for Hack. So there you have it. Sandman has officially retired. He left the beer in the middle of the ring and is done with active wrestling. So, all right. Now let's get to the meat of the matter. On this episode, my guest is the Kingpin, Angel Medina. We're going to talk about the Baldies and so much more. So let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have my interview with Angel Medina.
Support This is Extreme and buy the This is Extreme shirt. Show the world that you are part of the revolution and that you support our podcast and the history of ECW. Go to tinyurl.com/ECWpod shirt and buy yours today. This is Wrestling Nostalgia, the podcast that dives into wrestling history. Hey, wrestling fans, I'm Dave Dynasty, and if you enjoy podcasts that are knowledgeable and history-driven, then Wrestling Nostalgia is for you. With great guests and fun interviews, there are over 200 episodes in our archives. We chat with several first-time guests and often cover topics not discussed on other podcasts. Look up Wrestling Nostalgia on your favorite podcast platform and visit all of our links at linktr.ee/wrestlepod. That is linktr.ee/RASSLEPOD. And remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, be good, be safe, and keep on growing.
At this time, I'm being joined by the leader of the Baldies, Angel Medina. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, but you got to address me correctly, man. It is the Kingpin, Angel Medina, man. I earned that monarchy. I earned it. If I wanted to take it to the next level, it would be the king of the streets, the Kingpin Angel.
There you go. I apologize, sir. I apologize. I
totally understand him.
I don't need any hate from the Kingpin. So I read that you were born in New York, but you grew up in Puerto Rico. Is that correct?
No, that's a negative. That all those things on Wikipedia are kind of false, man. You can't believe everything on the internet. I was born in Brooklyn, and I was raised in Queens. So yes, I lived in New York all my life. I spend most of my summers as a child, since I was like a kid. I mean, like 3 and up, or maybe 2 and up.
Uh-huh.
On my summers at my grandmother's in Puerto Rico. So if you want to say I was raised there, yes, but only for the summers when I was out of school.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So I guess
not when I was 2. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
from
So
childhood and up.
I guess that's how why they got put on there. But did you grow up a wrestling fan?
No, I was more of a wrestling fan in junior high school. That occurred during my I think it was like in the 8th grade. A friend of mine introduced me into like a sports wrestling illustrated magazine with the Four
Mm-hmm.
Horsemen on the cover, and he was a huge wrestling fan, and he told me that oh man, you got to watch wrestling, it's great. And so I watched trying to remember, I think it was the Ric Flair versus Sting,
Mm-hmm.
Clash of Champions on
Yeah.
TBS.
Oh yeah. The first one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't remember what year it was because I can't say it was 88, but I want to say like 80, 87, 86, something like
Mm-hmm.
that,
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah. And well, okay. So were you trained by Johnny Rods?
That is correct. I was trained by the
All right.
unpredictable one.
Yeah, at Gleason's gym, correct? And
In Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, I was trained at
yeah,
Gleason's gym in Brooklyn, New York, known as the Dumble District. It was different back in the days. I mean, Gleason's gym was in a warehouse environment location where it was just not a what it's not what it looks like today. Today is just
yeah,
very
sure.
preppy, very urbanized. Now everybody who has some form of money lives there. There's a Starbucks, there's a deli, there's a Jewish delicatessen. You know what I mean? Like back in the days,
Yeah,
there was just a pizzeria,
yeah,
and everything was warehouses.
yeah. So let's say so you're talking Brooklyn. So that's Mike Tyson country, right?
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, he had an office over there when but in the 90s or maybe like early 2000s. I remember they had a office for him. But yeah, it's Mike Tyson country.
Yeah, he was destination watching back in the day. It's like
But
every fight, man, you had to watch.
But you got to remember, Gleason's gym is just world famous. It's known
Yep.
from every boxers. I mean, guys I used to see stand there. Arturo Gatti trained there when I was training there. Zab
Yeah.
Judah trained there. I'm just visualizing the people that I saw when I was Roy Jones was boxing by the wrestling ring one time. He was just
Yeah.
hitting the bag, and we was joking with him. Mitch Green used to be there all the time, training. Even the guy from Blues Clues. One day I was standing there and I'm like, man, that guy looks familiar. He had a tattoo on his arm and he's punching the bag. And I'm like, hey, man, that's the guy from Blues Clues. But you don't recognize him because, he's out of that, the outfit and the gimmick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the guy from Blues Clues. And, you see a
That's
lot of celebrities there that you're not aware that they're training there. The girl, Swank was from the Clint Eastwood movie, the boxing movie.
Oh yeah, Hillary Swank. Yeah.
Yeah, she was trained there. Chuck Norris did his infomercials there. A lot of movies were filmed there.
Yeah.
I mean, I could give you a list of many movies that were filmed at Gleason's gym. It's just well known.
Yeah. Well, and talk to me about Johnny Roz, right? Because man, he is so underappreciated for how talented he was, and especially you hear how good he was as a trainer.
Oh, Johnny's awesome, man. I love Johnny. I haven't reached out to him because I'm just one of those guys that just don't like. I don't bother him. I'm just one of those guys that just don't want to keep blowing up his phone. But Johnny's always welcoming. Every time I call him, we talk for a little bit. Johnny was a great trainer. He was old school. He was rugged. He was different. He trained us the right way. Um, I'm not knocking any other school because everybody's gonna put their school over, but I
Mhm.
mean, if you look at the lineage that came from Gleason's gym, I mean, yeah, Playboy, Buddy Sharp, has some
Mhm.
great guys. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of schools that bring out some great talent,
Yeah.
but I mean, Johnny had an alumni of individuals that became famous, and he just trained us in a different way. That's why we were totalitarians in the ring. We were ring generals. We were
Yeah.
able to handle ourselves in the ring when it came down to other individuals. So Johnny's like my dad. He trained me since I was 17. I look up to him. I admire him. I owe my whole career to him. If it wasn't for Johnny, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Um, it's just words cannot express how I feel about the man.
Yeah.
I know I'll probably get shit from the boys like, yeah, well, if you owe him a lot, well, you should call him more. It's just I'm just a quiet guy. I'm just so laid back, you
Yeah.
know. But I knowing Johnny, if I would call him, I'd be like, "Well, Johnny, the door swings both ways. You can call me too," you know. So,
Yeah. So when you finished up training, you were working around in the Northeast there. What was that like at that time? Because it's not like, there were a lot of territories, a hotbed. I mean, so what was the Northeast like trying to break in at that time?
I mean, it was nothing too difficult. I mean, it was just shows, man. It was just regular house shows. It's way before the internet. I mean, I'm not saying way before the internet. It's not like we lived but during the 90s, I mean, yeah, there was the computer, but it's not like how it is today. I
Yeah.
mean, back in the days when you wanted to get a tryout from WWE, you needed to send a VHS tape with your bio and your resume, and it was like a big old packet, and you send it to them. Now you could
Yeah.
just do everything online. Um, yeah, you just had to talk to promoters and network, and I mean, I worked for like Tommy Jeanette. He used to run these carnivals
Yep.
up the East Coast. I was with Bill Eadie, Tony Atlas, Big Vito LaGrasso. I'm just trying to remember all the individuals that were there. The midgets from the midgets from uh, Jerry Lawler's. I want to say Sleazy's, Queasy, whatever they were.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The dinks or whatever they were. Yeah.
yeah, it was the Dinks, but Jerry Lawler had his
Yeah.
his Royal Midget. So
Yeah. Oh
Little
yeah, yeah.
Louis, it was Little Louis. He was one of them. I mean, we had a blast. It was just networking and getting to know people. And that's one thing about today's wrestling organization that sometimes I think it misses. Like you just need to go out there and put yourself out there and network yourself.
Yeah.
And it was just different. You just had to hustle. It was nothing too difficult. It was just
Yeah.
something like, hey, Johnny, not Johnny Rods, but like, hey, Johnny, can you talk to this promoter and see if he's looking for any new talent? Oh yeah, come down to the show. And then you had to drive all the way. There was no Zoom, there was no StreamYard. It
Yep.
was face to face. Going to the shows, wasting, taking the time out of your day to go out there and waste the gas and sit there. Hey kid, nice meeting you. Well, if we have a spot open, we'll let you know. That
Yeah.
type of crap. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, skipping forward a little bit, you in the late '90s, you wound up obviously in ECW, and you formed a stable called the Baldies. So how did that come about with Paulie bringing you in and doing this thing? How was all that? How did who approached who? Did Paulie know you from the scene? How did that all come to be?
Well, Johnny. Well, how it originally started. Okay, let me just start from the beginning. How everything just transpired to that
Okay.
to that
Yeah.
moment. Well, me and Devon Dudley, we're close. He's from
Hmm.
Gleason's gym,
Yeah.
and when I was training at Gleason's gym, Devon was just came back from like from a hiatus of training because he'd be a postal worker. He used to work at the post office. And he lived in Yonkers.
Yeah.
And I want to say he took like 6 months off, 8 months off, for whatever reason, family reasons, work reasons. So he came back and we were just working out in the ring, and that's how we got to know each other. Then maybe like 8 months later, Johnny came up to him and asked him, hey, there's Paul Heyman is looking for a black Dudley. And I mentioned them to you, and I want to see if you want to go up there and try out. Now I don't know what the conversation entailed. I'm just giving you what was told to me at
Right.
the
Yeah.
time, because this was a
Yeah.
private conversation between Johnny and Devon. Well,
Yeah.
Devon, that the rest is history on that aspect.
Yeah.
So one day, a friend of mine named Jabba Shabibi, that was his wrestling name. He played like an Arabic manager. We were
Uh-huh.
training in the gym, and he was like, we were just talking, just like me and you're talking right now. And I was, hey, what you got planned for this weekend? And he goes, well, this weekend, and it was like a Tuesday. He goes, oh, Saturday, I have to go to Philly. Devon's been having me come down to Philadelphia to do workouts to train to be a referee. Man, that's cool. Awesome. So then, the week went on, and I saw him Thursday, or yeah, I think it was a Thursday, and we're just working out, and I'm like, man, yo, it's almost time, man. You be heading out to Philly this Saturday, aren't you? And he's like, bro, I won't be able to go. I said, why can't you go? He goes, my car is messed up, and I can't get it fixed in time, so I don't think I'm gonna go. And I said, well, hey, if you need a lift, I'll be happy to take you, but you need to call Devon and see if it's okay for me to come down.
Yeah.
So when he decided, he said, "Oh yeah, I'll ask him." So Devon's told him, "Yeah." He said, "Tell Angel just bring his stuff, bring his gear, because that's one of the rules in wrestling. You always bring your gear."
Yep.
And so I said, "All right." So anyway, long story short of that, we went down there. got dressed in my workout gear, got in the ring, worked out with a bunch of the guys from ECW. When I went to the back, this is how Paul got to know me. When I went to the back, he was talking to Sabu and Rob Van Dam. When he was in that conversation, he stopped in the midst of that conversation. Hey, kid, come here. He goes, hey, I like what I saw out there. And that's how he was talking. He was like, thinking, just stick around. Yeah, just stick around. So I went back to Devon and I said, D, I called him D. So I said, D, Paul told me I did good, but he just told me to stick around. He goes, Angel, just stick around. And I said, yeah, but I don't want Angel. If Paul told you to stick around, trust me, stick around. So I stuck around, and just came to the shows, helped out a little bit, just, watched the matches, worked out in the ring. Tony DeVito showed up, at that time. So I got to know Tony, and during that time we were doing off and on like skits, meaning one day I was dressed all in black, pretending to be Mustafa for an angle for New Jack. So I was dressed under a hood, a big old jacket, a mask, and oh my God, who's that? That's Mustafa, because we were the same height. So we were working that. Then DeVito was doing, just regular wrestling things. Then they came up with an idea for DeVito to do like this American History X character, like a skinhead. So I had to buy a bunch of Doc Martin boots, some jeans, whatever type of T-shirt that represented, the skinhead movement or some type of band that, is associated with some type of skinheads. So he was, they were just trying to find our niche. Then one day, Paul came up to me, and this is how it transpires. This is funny. One day, no, first of all, New Jack, I talked to New Jack, and we're sitting in a car. Then he said, I'm thinking about bringing the gangsters back. And, I'm looking for a tag team partner, and I think you be able to fit. So I'm like, huh? So I'm like, yeah, I think we could do something good, so you work good, you move good, so I was gonna end supposedly, apparently, this is just a conversation that he wanted to do the new gangsters. Then after that, where I forgot what town we're in, but they were gonna bring the Insane Clown Posse in. So then apparently Paul pulls me to the side. He goes, hey, I got an idea. I'm thinking about putting you with the Insane Clown Posse as their bodyguard. So I would look like one of the Jokers from the cartoon Batman, the Batman cartoon where the henchmen were dressed up in clown face, but they were big muscular muscle for the Joker. So he goes, yeah, you're gonna be the bodyguard for the Insane Clown Posse. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, whatever. Then something went wrong, and Insane Clown never showed up. Like something fell through. So then I was still wrestling, and then we're in Michigan, if I remember correctly, and he pulls me and DeVito to the side, and he goes, hey, I got an idea. You ever heard of the Baldies? You ever saw the movie The Wanderers? And I said, well, yeah, when I was a little younger. I haven't seen it in a long time. He goes, there was a group called the Baldies, and we're thinking about doing this fraction of you, DeVito, Rod Price, PN News, and Big Vito, as the Baldies. So I'm like, whatever, man. It's whatever. And Tommy was there. It was Tommy's and Paul's idea. Like, hey, whatever you want, we're willing. So that's how the Baldies became, because of the idea that Paul and Tommy had. And then our first match was actually, we were not even dressed as the Baldies. Everybody was dressed all different outfits and stuff. But it was a house show, and I got the video footage too. It was a house show, and then we all beat up on Spike Dudley, and New Jack comes out, and that was the kind of like the not the like it's not the pilot, when you like before they do but the pilot is like, hey, this is a test,
like
test,
the pitch,
the pitch of but they film it, they do it, they put it all together. So it was like the pitch and stuff to visually see how it looked. So we did it, and they liked it. So then that's when we did the angle at the ECW arena. So everything that happened was like that, Tommy and Paul.
Yeah, and man, I'll tell you what, I love ECW, right, all the way through. But some people knock, late ECW, whatever, but the Baldies were definitely a highlight. And was good stuff, man. I always got into it. And at various times, right, man, you were with, Vito, Tony DeVito, like you talked about, Vic Grimes, PN News, Red Dog, different guys. But I got to ask, because I just talked to him not too long ago and interviewed him here on the show. What was it like
Which guy?
PN News. PN
Oh,
News.
PN News. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like working with Paul? PN News.
He was great, man. I mean, like I said, I never had any issues working with anybody. I was always one of those guys where I got along with anybody. PN was awesome. I mean, we just cracked jokes, and like I said, we were in buddy. We were part of the stable, but like I said, it was just a cordial friendship. Nothing like, hey,
Yeah.
let's go out for beers. Like I said, he was a good guy. He reach out. I know he's in Germany, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes on Facebook, I wish him, hey, how you doing? Hope everything's well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not a big talker when it
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
to like the internet and stuff, and I'm one of those people like, hey, if I reach out to you, you need to reach out to me. If I don't hear from you, then I won't reach out to you. It's just a weird thing I have. Like, I just don't want to be a burden on anybody,
Yeah.
and just keep like, and everybody tells Devon always gets on my ass about the reason I don't call you is because I don't want the angel. You're not bothering me. Yeah, but you know how I am. I just don't. He knows me. He knows if he calls me, I'll pick up. And it's
Yeah.
just that I'm just one of those people who don't like bothering nobody.
Yeah. I always thought, man, PN News, especially after talking to him, he's a little underappreciated, right? Because all everybody thinks of is that WCW rap thing he did.
Oh
But
yeah,
man,
that shit was horrible.
yeah, but he did so much good stuff, like in Europe and stuff. Cannonball this and that, whatever. I mean, he was a pretty good worker, big guy.
No, he was great. It's just that yo baby, that shit was garbage.
Yeah, that's all everybody remembers because
That
it was
is
on TV.
garbage.
It is.
And when I watched it as a fan, meaning I was still training in wrestling and watching it, and I'm not knocking him, but I'm being honest as a fan. I sat there like, this is some bullshit.
Me too, man. I always hated it and whatever else. And then when I talked to him and I'm like, whatever else, and he's like, yeah, whatever. They wanted to do it with me. I was making money and and he's like, but I would have much rather have done, Cannonball Grizzly or whatever it was, stuff I was doing in Portland or in Europe, that was much more me. And it's like, oh yeah,
But what's funny about situations like that? Okay, when you can convince people of the character, but internally you freaking hate it, when you can shut off what you personally feel and what you have to do to make it get over, that takes a lot. Yeah, and I commend them for that, because knowing me being, like I'll be the same way. But when you inside, like, dude, I freaking hate this. But if you can shut off those emotions and go, I gotta work. Yeah. And then he did what he did.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think, man. In that spot, if somebody had given me something as ridiculous as that, I couldn't have done it. I would have been like, yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm not, I don't want to do this. And it would have come through. People would have known that I wouldn't want to do that because I couldn't fake it. I couldn't be that professional. And
you got to be professional. You got to take your personal feelings aside. What you feel and what you have to do are two different things in this business.
So, and it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, look at Dustin Rhodes. I mean, the Goldust thing. Did he really like it in the beginning? Oh. But he made it work.
Yeah. Man, I mean, he super got it over. And everything else. But you mentioned New Jack, right? And obviously the Baldies, man, were known for that. You had a feud with New Jack. And you talked, right, man? You got along with New Jack and everything else and everything else. Did you ever have any problems in the ring? Because I know sometimes they say New Jack can be a little unpredictable.
No. I mean, there was some times I made him. I mean, there's some things that he done that, like, but again, I'm so easygoing, and Jack, me and Jack always clicked. He clicked with me. He clicked with DeVito. Well, not Vic Grimes. We clicked with Jack. We had no problems with him. I mean, there were certain moments where he did like one time we were wrestling and, fans bring him stuff and they brought some hot sauce and he went to put it in my mouth, the hot sauce.
Yeah.
And it was like Louisiana hot sauce. It was not like a Carolina Reapers or something. Yeah. But, I mean, when you're working in the ring, so he's going to pour this in my mouth, but accidentally poured it up my nose.
Oh man.
So that like so that's the one when I'm like, motherfucker, and I'm cursing. So he's laughing and stuff. And or the time where he accidentally literally stabbed me in the ass with a barbecue fork.
I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah, what's the story with that?
It was an accident. I mean, he really stabbed me. I screamed beyond belief. And when I went to the back, I literally had the fork sticking out of my butt. And he came in. He came through the back, like, because we're brawling, and so he saw me run to the back, and he chased after me to finish the match. So Tommy pulled the fork out of my ass, but Jack came through the curtain laughing, and I didn't take it personal. Jack is Jack, and I don't give a fuck, and I just laughed too. But it was very painful. I mean, it was literally to the bone.
I bet.
And And Jack's laughing, Angel, I'm sorry. And he's just laughing. And I'm like, it's whatever, man. Let's finish the match. I'm just laughing. It's all good. So we went and finished the match, and he still came back laughing and stuff. And even Danny Doran was like, dude, it's so funny. We're all laughing, but literally our friend just literally got stabbed and we're laughing about it.
Oh, man, what a business.
Yeah, what a business. But yeah, I mean, Jack would never do anything intentionally to hurt me. All the things that happened to me that was unintentional, and it was an accident. And he kissed me on the forehead when he stabbed me in the, as he was laughing. He was just like, bro, I didn't mean to. Like I say, it's hard for me to understand. I mean, I understand, but when you're not in the mix of Jack's radar of violence, meaning like he beat up a bunch of dudes, man, and he stabbed a bunch of dudes, and he beat up Gypsy Joe, and he stabbed that kid with the knife, and the mass transit incident.
Yep.
I never, from my aspect, when people go, dude, I can't believe you, how was it? It was fine. We never had a problem. I never got hurt. I mean, little mess ups, but that's it. But when you see it from like now, the Angel standing back when he watches the old footage, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
That's like two different elements. Like Jack always took care of me.
Yeah. But it's funny, I mean, but like Jack, when you talk about those major incidents that everybody talks about, they all boil down to respect, right? And those are guys that maybe disrespected him. Maybe ran their mouth a little too much or something. That got Jack kind of riled up, right? I mean, you always hear people, if you treated Jack right and talked to him right and gave him the proper respect, no one ever had any issue with him.
I think, and that's the thing. It was all about respect and addressing them in the correct manner. I mean, like when Jack came up with ideas, and I never went up to Jack, and I always went up to Jack and goes, hey Jack, what do you want to do? What's your ideas? I never went up to him, hey man, when you get in the ring, this is what we're gonna do. This is because regardless of how long I've been in ECW, Johnny taught me one thing. I could be in the business 30 years. Johnny's been in the business 6 years, and he will always have 30 years ahead of me. So he's the most experienced person in the ring. So even though I was in ECW and I was already part of the family and stuff like that, Jack was already a co-founder, not a co-founder, but he's been there before me. So I have to give him the respect to say, hey, what do you want to do? And then he'll say, no, man, what's your idea? You play that tennis. And I always gave Jack the respect and I always followed his lead. And, and he listened to my advice when he asked me, hey, what do you want to do? Well, if it's not too much to ask, I was thinking about this, but if you think it's stupid, we don't have to do it. No, I like it, but we could do it like this. How's that sound? Hey, man, that's great. See, that's how you make those conversations go.
Yeah.
But it's just things that happen in the ring, with other individuals. Again, I wish I was the fly on the wall, but it just went sideways.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned, right, that Jack always treated you good, treated DeVito good and everything. But you specifically said not Vic Grimes, right? There was obviously all the Vic Grimes stuff. Everybody's heard those stories, but was there already heat brewing back in ECW between those two?
Okay. I love Vic. Vic is a great guy. I'm not shitting on him. This is the truth.
Yeah.
Jack. Vic is one of those guys. I'm trying to get a character where, okay, you remember in the Bugs Bunny cartoon with the episode where the little midget mobster and the big, the dumb muscle, and he's like, hey, shut up, button your lip.
Yeah.
Okay, both.
Yeah.
Vic used to say things that was so innocent and so stupid, but it was not that he was doing it intentionally. He just didn't think.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a negative way. He was just so innocent. And I'm not saying he was stupid. He was not doing it intentionally. He wasn't doing anything very maliciously. But what really transpired to the New Jack situation with Vic is because the original, during the Dansbury Fall in that pay-per-view, Jack came up with the idea that he's going to come in the ring and clean house. Now, let me give you some story before the show. That scaffold match was originally supposed to be me and Jack.
Okay.
Jack knew I was afraid of heights a little bit. The only reason I was afraid of heights because we previously had another show, maybe months before that, we were doing a house show and they had the same setup, but it was maybe just two of them. So me and Jack, I said, hey, Jack, let's go up there. We fight. And then you throw me off and DeVito and Grimes will catch me as I fall. I mean, it didn't look high. So when I went up there and Jack and it was when I didn't realize it was not like a like stable ground. It was rails because you put the folding chairs in that rollaway and you stack them, so there, like it's a slits for the legs. So
Yeah.
there's no floor. It's just like the rails, and it's like open. If you look at the video, it's just like it's open. So when we went up there, Jack hit me, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" The thing is all unstable, is shaking, and I'm like holding on to Jack's leg, and he goes, "Angel, I'm gonna throw you off." And this is a true story. I'm like, "Jack, I can't do it, man. This is too high. I'm fucking," and he's just laughing. And he's laughing, and he goes, "All right, man, fuck it. Just cut me off and you throw me." So I cut him off and throw him. And if there's some footage out there, I wish I could see it, because as I throw Jack into my teammates and they're fighting, hopefully there's a camera looking at the opposite, like over them, me gingerly climbing down this damn scaffold, like in fear, because because I knew I was scared. So anyway, so back to the pay-per-view. So now this is like maybe four tiers up, or maybe three, but it's fucking high. Yeah. So I said, I think I could do it if you could get like a big old piece of plywood and cover that hole. Because originally the idea is Jack was going to cut me off and suplex me. We were going to set the tables up, and he was going to suplex me, and we're going to go through the tables. But I said, I need stability. I need a floor. If you can give me a piece of giant wood so we can put it on that spot, cover up that massive gap, I'll do it. I need stability.
Yeah.
So the ring crew goes out, comes back, and they say, "Hey man, just let you know we didn't have time to go to Staples or any type of lumber yard to get the wood. We didn't have time." And I'm like, DeVito's there, Jack's there, Grimes is there, and I'm like, I ain't doing it. That's the first time I ever like stood up and said, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. And that's when Vic was like, I'll do it. And I was like, all right, you could do it. I'm like, fuck it. So anyway, so during before the match, Jack said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna come in, clean house, and just destroy the Baldies. But when I go up to the scaffold, we do the move, we're all laid out. So everybody's gonna get carried out. No, there's like no winner, no loser, just everybody just floored. Yeah. So we're like, all right, whatever. It works for me. So then if you watch the footage, they go up there and, Vic apparently, again, I wasn't up there, but Jack said he got scared and didn't want to go. And at a house show, it's different because it's a house show.
Yeah.
When it's pay-per-view, all bets are off. Now, if it was me up there, yeah, Jack would have been mad at me because it's pay-per-view. There's no turning back.
Yeah.
But when it was a house show, it was different. So that's when he pulled Grimes off, and that's when Grimes landed on his head and so on and so forth. But anyway, we were supposed to be all laid out, regardless of what happened to Jack. We were all supposed to be laid out and carried out. But if you watch the video, Vic stands up and bangs his head, and he lifts his hand up in victory and walks away. So then when we went to the back, Jack went to the hospital, and they were like, oh my God, Jack's at the hospital, blah, blah, blah. So instead of saying, hey, is he okay? What hospital he went to? He said, hey, it was Jack's fault. He didn't want to go, or some shit like that. He was just like shitting on him. So when it got back to Jack at the hospital, and he didn't go visit Jack. So when it got back to the hospital, that Vic was talking shit about Jack and how he kind of like chickened out from that bump. Then Jack got hot. Yeah. Again, this is all, like I said, I don't know what was said at the hospital. I just know that, the only thing I had in the conversation was Vic is like, Vic, what the fuck happened? He goes, oh, no, I don't know, man. He was up there and, we were going up to according to plan, but then apparently, he just didn't want to go. That was our end of our conversation. Whatever was said afterwards got back to me, and that's what supposedly was said. And then what was said to Jack at the hospital. So then and like I said, I could remember this like yesterday, we're in the Burt Flickinger Center in Buffalo, New York. And this is months. I'm talking months later. Jack was out of commission. Yeah. So Jack's coming back. So I'm like, cool, awesome. so we're in the locker room and DeVito's sitting next to me, if I remember, and Vic was sitting behind me, behind the other locker, so like, when you go to the gym, you have the two lockers back to back,
Yeah.
and the other side is on the chair, the bench, and I'm on the other side on the bench.
Yep.
So I'm putting on my boots, and Jack comes in, and he literally is walking, and I go, "Yo, what's up, Jack?" Doesn't acknowledge me, doesn't say a word to me, not mad at me. He was like focused.
Yeah.
He walks by me, and all I heard was like a crack of lightning, like a slap from hell, and the freaking locker behind me just like banged into me, like, so it pushed me forward, like it was tipping over type of thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I stood up and like peeped over, and Jack and Grimes are face to face, and Vicky's like, what the fuck, what would you do that for? Whatever. And I can't remember what he said. And Jack's just like, just if he was white, he'd be red. Put it this way. So he was just beyond himself. And I don't know how. I think they were holding Jack back. I can't remember, or they were between them. Jack left, and so the story was. Okay, so the story is that, all right, when Jack's music hits, he's gonna come in and hit Vic Grimes with the guitar, and he's gonna, beat me and DeVito up, kick us out, almost like the mass transit. Throw Devon out, throw Axel out, focus on, Vic.
Vic, yeah.
And he was gonna hit him with the guitar, and and apparently he was telling, like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him. He's a fucking dead man. He's gonna die in this fucking ring. So then during that time, they came up to me and said, Angel, plans changed. And I said, what's up? He goes, you're going to take the guitar shot. And when Jack's music hits, Vic is going to take a powder and leave. And then it's going to be between you, Tommy, Jack, the ball, you and DeVito versus Tommy and Jack. And Vic Grimes leaves. So I'm like, oh, does Jack know? He goes, no. Yeah. He goes, you want me to tell him? He goes, yeah, just tell him that things changed. So I'm like, all right. So when I went over there, Jack is like putting like, gimmicking up the guitar. So he's putting a brick in it. He put a bowling pin in it. He put, I think, some heavy metal in it. And then he starts taping it up with silver electrical tape. So as I'm seeing this, but this is as I'm about to talk to him, and he goes, "Hey man, I said, Jack, man, it's good to have you back. Hey, I need to talk to you, man. I'm gonna fucking kill that motherfucker, and that motherfucker's dead, bro. So Angel, you stay out of my fucking way. I don't want you to get hurt. Hey, yeah, but Jack, yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, this is my vindication, man. It's time. It's gonna rain." And I'm like, "Yeah, Jack, I don't mean to, but I'm just like, because he kept talking over me. So then, and I said, Jack, and he goes, "What, man?" And I said, things changed. You're supposed to hit me with the guitar, man. Apparently Vic is gonna powder and leave the ring, and it's just between you and Tommy versus me and DeVito. No, this is fucking bullshit, motherfucker. All right. And he's screaming and yelling, and I'm like, well, Jack. And again, he keeps cutting me off because I'm trying to like give my, say something. So then, and then again, I said, Jack, and he goes, what? I totally understand you're pissed off, brother, but can you take out the brick, the bowling pin, and the whatever metal's in there, because you're gonna hit me with it? Yeah, man, I got you. And then he ran to Paul and just like got in Paul's ass about, again, I was not there from this as I see him yelling, but I don't know what was said. And he was pissed. So that was it. That's what happened. So he was laser focused on Vic. And, regardless if he took all that stuff out, he reinforced that thing with electrical tape. Because if you watch the footage, that guitar never broke on my head, because it was just like,
Yeah.
But yeah, he was so laser focused. And when Vic got fired, Jack was still laser focused. And then, of course, what happened with the scaffold match. I mean, Jack played it off very like, hey, man, don't worry about it. It's all good, it's water under the bridge type of thing. And that's, the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, when so many people talk about the best years of ECW or whatever else, so many people sleep on those last few years. And, man, there was definitely some good stuff there. Especially in the tag division, right? Man, there was a pretty deep tag division there at the end. And you worked lots of tag matches during that time, man. Did you appreciate kind of the depth of the tag teams at that time in ECW?
Yeah, man. I loved all those guys, man. I mean, Nova, man, the Ring General, man. I mean, the guy came up with some innovative shit. Chris Chetty, Danny Doran, Roadkill, even though I give him shit all the time. I love all those guys. Julio Dinero. There was Easy Money, Chris Hamrick. I mean,
yeah.
C.W. Anderson. Bill Wiles, even though CW, had a big head and I don't know how he was like he always reminded me of the creature from the Flintstones. What was it? The Great Kazoo?
Yeah, the green
You
guy.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, the green guy with the big head,
Yeah.
but no, but I love CW. That's my boy. He always give him shit. But like I said, it was just all love in the ring, man. We always wanted to make each other look good. It was not about me looking good. It was about me making CW look good, and he did the same for me. So that's why we always had these like I want to say 5-star matches, but we had some fun, exciting matches because
Yeah.
the thing was we cared about putting over our friends, not for our opponents, to make everybody look good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so when did you find out, or how did you find out about ECW coming to an end? Could you see that the signs were coming? Did it catch you off guard?
Well, it did catch us off guard, but we knew it was coming because when you say it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You had the hopes and dream like, oh, maybe it's gonna survive, maybe it's gonna survive. The reason why, okay, the situation is this: we knew that we were in financial distress,
Yeah,
and because we weren't getting paid, but we wanted
yeah,
to show Paul that we were soldiers and we were gonna ride with him. The only time everybody got upset is because Rob Van Dam was, and again, nothing against Rob. It's just that Rob got paid for the pay-per-view at the Hammerstein Ballroom. I think it was Massacre on 34th Street. I think it was, or the one before that. But I think he was wrestling Jerry Lynn, I think. And he got paid. And he got paid his back money and then some. So the boys were upset, like like, hey, that's fucking bullshit. We're the ones that are, still here, and we're not getting paid and stuff. And I know we're not Rob Van Dam, but it was just, understandable, the feeling. So, we knew that things were gonna was rocky, but we just had that glimmer of hope. We
yeah,
had that glimmer of hope that things would get better. And the thing was is that when I don't know, it was just hard because when finally when myself decided I wasn't gonna go to, I can't remember what town it was, the last show.
yeah, like in
I
Iowa or something. It was something.
something and
Yeah, like,
everybody was driving. I wasn't flying, and nobody. I said, I'm not going, dude. I can't afford it, which I couldn't. I couldn't
yeah,
afford to go because I didn't have a job, meaning, let's say I was working in ECW and I had a job during the week,
uh-huh,
then you could kind of flip the bills and the travel.
yeah,
But my income was strictly ECW. So when you're not getting paid and your finances are dwindling, and then I'm not making, like saying like Tommy Dreamer money, Var Van Dam money, I was making good money, but not to that level.
yeah,
And I had bills and it was eating up my finances. And I was just like, fuck. So
yeah,
I was like, I'm not going, man. I have to make a stand. So when I didn't go, I really kicked myself in the ass because that was the last show, not knowing. I didn't know at the time. Because the only reason I found out is the after that show, that's when, Rhino said, hey man, it's on the internet, man. The company went bankrupt, and then we did our last show, some show in Buffalo. I got a picture of it somewhere, where Paul was like, hey man, I'm not leaving California without a deal. We're gonna survive this, you know. And then, Lord and behold, that Monday Night Raw, guess who's coming out Monday Night Raw? Is Paul.
yep,
So like, motherfucker. He worked, so I mean, yeah, we knew, but we just had hopes, man. It was just high hopes.
yeah. Have you seen Paul since it closed? Have you run into him anywhere or
Oh, I've
at
seen
all?
Paul a couple times. I saw Paul in Kansas City when I had to go up there for Devon wanted me to show up for something, and Paul gave me a big hug. Paul sent me just past February. He wished me a happy birthday. So Paul reaches out to me. I'm not mad at him. I love Paul.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, he gave me an opportunity that nobody will ever give me. Paul was the one that molded my character and let me be who I wanted to be. The only animosity I had is just the sad that the company went, and it was heartbreaking. Yeah, I got over it. Like I said, I owe Paul a lot. And like I
yeah,
said, I always make the jokes about the checks bouncing and and all this crazy antics, but it's just me just trying to make it a little bit, a little
yeah,
levity on it. That's all I have is just to make jokes. So.
yeah. Well, I know, yeah, you've worked quite a bit in Puerto Rico.
Uh-huh.
And I read that you've got some issues with Dutch Mantel.
Dude, why are you bringing that up, man? I thought
Man,
you a cool guy.
you don't want to talk about Dutch?
No, fuck that. I could talk about that motherfucker. I hate that motherfucker. I hope he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand him.
Why? What did he tell? Man, come on, for the listeners, man. At least
I said
what
the
did
story
Dutch
many. No, but I told the story many times, but I don't have a problem repeating it. The reason why I get along with everybody. Remember in the previous conversations, I said I get along with everybody.
Yeah, man. You seem like such a laid back, easy going guy, man.
Yeah, I try to keep myself level headed. But at the time when I went to Puerto Rico, I was working for Victor Quiñones, Savio Vega, and Dutch was the booker of the locker room.
Yep.
Now, at that moment in time, I was just still bitter that the company folded. And I was not going to let nobody take advantage of me. And I'm not saying Paul took advantage of me. I was just it's like breaking up with a girl, and you're like, man, I'm not going to let no woman fuck with me right now. I'm just,
you're not going to get that. Yeah, you're not going to get in a bad situation again, right?
Yeah, I'm here to work. Just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
So that's all I cared about, and I was not going to let nobody do anything to me. I was going to speak my mind. So everything was great. My deal was, I would stay in the condo in New San Juan at the I would get paid. I would always have transportation to the show, so I didn't have to worry about renting a car. This is the agreement that I had with Victor. And that was perfect, and I love Victor. He was great.
Yeah.
So now the problem is that he said, okay, you're gonna stay at the condo, but you're gonna be rooming with Lobo. Dutch is also in that room, so he had his own bedroom. And I was sharing a room with Lobo, Anarchy, and myself. Anarchy slept in the closet, which was freaking funny as hell. It was like a walk-in closet, and there was like a single bed in there. Like, dude, it looked like a prison cell. He had a little TV on a milk crate. And we had, it was just funny. Great guy, but it's a true story.
So wait a minute, hold on. Dutch had his own room, and you're putting a guy in a walk-in closet.
Yeah, it was because Lobo had the bed.
Oh yeah, well, okay.
I had a bed, and since Anarchy was a new guy, he was a young boy basically. So he gave the veteran, myself. He goes, "Oh no, I stay in the closet. You have the bed." So I didn't know if he slept there or not. I just know he had a setup in the closet, like R. Kelly.
Yeah.
So he had his own closet room. And it was funny, man, because I used to knock on the door like Cousin It when the Addams Family knocking on a cigar box and it opened up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's laying on the floor under not saying under the clothes, but under that where you hang your clothes, like that space underneath it. He's under the clothes on that bed with the TV across from him, just on his hand, like his elbow, pressed down, his hand on it, and I'm like, hey man, we're gonna go eat or whatever. Oh yeah, I'll go. So anyway, the story is that it's not the story. This is what happened. Anarchy brought over a girl who had a kid. It was like 6 months old, and it was a girlfriend, a side piece, whatever. I didn't know who she was. Yeah. So he comes, hey man, and I was watching VHS tapes of last week's show. I just wanted to see how it was. So I was in the living room watching TV. So he comes in with this girl, and he goes, hey man, this is so and so. Oh, hey, how you doing? And he goes, I'm just, we're going in the room and just hanging out. And I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. I don't care. You're a grown ass man. Mm-hmm. So, but of course, I'm sitting there like, okay, you're gonna go in our bedroom, but you're gonna take her in the closet. Like, okay, whatever. And then he goes, hey, is it okay if I put the baby to sleep on your bed? Dude, I don't care. Just, yeah, whatever. So he did that. So then I'm sitting in the living room, and let's say 30 minutes passed, maybe 35. Dutch walks in. Hey, have you seen Anarchy? So my brain is like, well, I'm not gonna stooge him out because he's in the room with a girl, and I don't know. He's a young, when I say young bucks, he's like the new guy in the business.
Yeah.
I don't want to get him in trouble because he has no weight.
Right.
So I said, nah, man, I haven't seen him. I've been sitting here watching tapes. So he's like, oh, okay. So he walks away, and he's walking to the door to leave the apartment, and he stops. Now, did he hear something? Did he hear a groan? Did he hear a moan? Did he hear the baby chuckle? I didn't hear nothing because I guess I had the TV going. So he decides to go to the bedroom. He goes to the bedroom, maybe a minute, not even a minute. He comes back out. He goes, and he points to me with his finger. You need to get that girl and that baby out of here. So right there, I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, he's pointing his finger in my face, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's not my girl. That's not my kid. That's not. I didn't bring the bitch in. So that's not my problem.
Yeah.
So he leaves. So then I went downstairs because Victor had 3 apartments. One on the top floor that was his, the one I was in, and then he had another one on the first floor that he turned into a production office. So he had like TV, they had the production stuff to, to do the editing and all that crazy shit. They had a computer. Victor, 2 bedrooms. One was Victor's office. The other one, I forgot what the fuck it was, and a bathroom and a living room, whatever. So when we went down there to check my email. I checked my email, and when I walked in, and I looked in the room when I was walking in with no problem. It was Dutch, Victor, Savio, and oh my god, now I forgot his name. The guy from the Los Barricos with the hairy chest.
Oh shit, what's his name? Yeah, I'm shooting a blank too. I know you're talking about
he's all hairy, not Hurricane Castillo, but the other guy.
Totally shooting a blank.
Yeah, so he was in there. So I go get on the computer, check my email, and I log off, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving out of the apartment. And when I'm leaving, Dutch literally grabs me, and like spins me, but nothing forceful, just enough to say, "Hey, turn around." So I turn around, and he goes, "The next time I ask you where anybody's at, you freaking, he goes, you fucking tell me, because the next time you'll find yourself back to New York." So right there, I'm like, pause. I'm not one of these kids. So when he started walking away, I grabbed him and I turned him. I said, "Look, motherfucker, you don't talk to me that way. I'm not your fucking kid. I'm not these young boys. You show me some fucking respect, or me and you gonna have a different conversation. So go fuck yourself." He gets pissed off. He leaves. I go to Victor. Victor, what the fuck is his problem? That's not my problem. Anarchy brings in the girl. I'm talking to Savio, and I'm explaining my case. Like, who the fuck is he?
Yeah.
He's been in the business all a long time. He's the book. He's the booker. I don't give a fuck if he's the booker. He don't talk to me that way. Fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then he goes, "Oh, well, Angel," Victor was cool. He said, "Hey, Joe, he's just a booker. Just let it go. Don't worry about it, whatever." So then a week later, Dutch comes up to me. Yeah, he was doing the guy from the Office Space. Yeah. We're having some guy come from Canada. It was Abyss.
Yeah.
We're having some guy come down. We need the room. So you need to find another place to stay. So I'm like, okay. No, I'm sorry, backwards. The car. It was the car first. Oh, you need to get a ride first, right?
Okay.
But Abyss was still coming, all that stuff. You need to get a ride to the shows because we need the space. Okay, fine. So I rented a car. The following week, that's when the apartment thing came up. Yeah, well, we need you to clear out in 3 weeks, because we need the space. So I'm like, that was not my deal. Yeah, things changed. We need the apartment. So he's just doing it because I spoke up.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck this. I said, no, fuck that. I'm done. I'm not gonna let this motherfucker shit on me. So I took the first flight back to, and I left. I said, fuck it. I left him stranded. I left him fucking hanging. Savio was mad because, and I'm not mad at Savio. I respect Savio, but the story came back to me. Oh, this is one thing. It's just like a woman when you break up with him. Oh, he ain't shit. He can't fuck for shit. His dick was small. He was nothing because they shit on you. Before I was like, oh man, great worker, solid worker, great athlete. When I left, apparently Savio was like, hey, he wasn't all that. He was all right. He couldn't hold water. All of a sudden I was being shit on just to justify why I had left.
Yeah.
So what made it even worse was, this is years later, and I'm talking maybe 3 to 4 or 5 years later. Homicide reaches out to me, and he's like, because me and Homicide know each other since we're, from the streets, from young.
Yeah.
So Louis reaches out to me saying Homicide's looking for me. Okay. So I said, for what? He goes, he needs to talk to you. I don't know. He just wants to talk to you. Something has to do with TNA. All right. So I reach out to him. So, yo, dude, hey, I have this idea, man. Machete's not working out. Apollo is going back to Puerto Rico, and we need a bigger guy. Machete's good, but we just need a bigger guy. So I was thinking of, I thought of you, and I want you to, be part of LAX. Okay. So I'm like, oh, okay. You know, goes, I said, because you need to talk to, shit, oh my God, Terry Taylor. You need to talk to Terry Taylor. So Terry Taylor was coming down to Wichita for the show. TNA was going to show the show. So I had to meet up with him. So I met up with Terry. We had a massive conversation. I reached out to Devon to put in a good word for me, you know, and Devon always puts in a good word for me. Anything that Devon says he does, it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So Devon said, "Yeah, I got you, man. I put in a good." So I had Homicide put in a good word for me. I had Devon put in a good word for me. I had Terry Taylor put in a good word for me. Beknownst did I know? I didn't know who the fucking booker and the fucking people behind the scenes were. It was Savio and Dutch.
Yeah.
When Dutch found out that my name was in the running for the LAX gimmick, he's like, "No, fuck him. I don't want him. No, this and that, this and this." And Devon called me and goes, "Dude, what the fuck happened?" You know, because remember, there was, I mean, even though it was internet, there was no sheets.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the story never came across the ocean of what happened compared to how it is now.
Yep.
So I told Devon what happened. He goes, "Bro, he's shitting on you. He no matter what I do, they're not budging. They don't want you." So I'm like, "All right, whatever." So again, it was between me and Hernandez. And even Hernandez, and I joke with Hernandez once, you know, because we never met, but you know, he did an interview of a friend of mine, and I chipped in on the line, and it was, like I said, it was true. You got my spot, you know, and I'm happy. Things happen for a reason. Hernandez is great, but it's so funny how things transpire, how certain gimmicks, you know, like you didn't know that if things would have panned out, that Angel of the Baldies would have been tag team partners with the Homicide and become LAX, and so on and so forth. But due to the fact that fucking Dutch was so bitter, you know, and people were like, "Oh, you got heat with Dutch." I said, "How the fuck do I have heat with Dutch? How the fuck am I supposed to have heat with this motherfucker?" Well, he's the one that disrespected me. He's the one that grabbed me like I was a fucking, like a 10-year-old kid, and he's scolding a child. He's just mad because I stood up for myself. I didn't eat his shit. I didn't decide to go get another apartment. You know, I did rent a car and stay there and eat humble pie. And I stood up for myself and said, "Fuck you, I'm out." And I left. And that's why he's mad. And that's why he's pissed off. So he can go on all the internet shows and talk to you, talk to fucking Joe Rogan, jokingly, talk to the guy from England that he does a show with, talk about to anybody, and tell everybody that how untalented I am, how he fired me, whatever. Fuck him. When he dies, I will buy first class and piss on his fucking grave. And so you could send him a copy of this tape. You could fucking put it in a fucking silver envelope with a ribbon on it, because he knows I cannot stand him. The day he fucking dies, you call me and we'll do another interview of me celebrating, because that is a shoot.
Yeah.
That's not how it work.
Live on location. Angel
I will do it
pissing
live.
on Dutch's grave.
Dive. It will be like, you ever saw the movie Max Payne with Donnie Wahlberg?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, that would be me. Like, it will be a cartoon version of a graphic novel, and the wind's blowing in my ties, blowing in the wind while I'm pissing on his grave.
There you go.
It'll be like Sin City, bro.
Yeah.
The only thing, everything be black and white except the stream of piss that'd be yellow.
Yellow, yeah. Oh man. Well, man, I apologize for opening that wound up.
No, I hate that guy. Fuck him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, man. Whew. There you go, man. There's the truth straight from Angel's mouth.
Oh, the truth. Yeah, dude. I told my girlfriend one time, I said, I would love to do, like in the movie, I'm always quoting movies, but in the Bronx Tale, when he grabbed the guy's face and he goes, "Look at me. Remember my face. I did this to you." I want to be the guy on his deathbed just grabbing his face. The last thing you're going to see is me watching you fucking die.
Yeah.
You know,
grabbing that mustache.
Yeah, grabbing them handlebar mustache and holding them, you know, pulling them to my face.
Yeah, man, I like that you quote movies and stuff, man, because I'm a big movie guy too.
Yeah,
that clicks with me, man. Well, what ended up leading you to retiring from wrestling? No, I
didn't retire, man. I mean, it's not about retirement. It was after September 11th. Work was scarce.
Yep.
You know, nobody was hiring.
Yep.
I needed to work. I needed to make a living, so I had to make a decision to like work. And then I got a regular job and I became a cop and all that stuff, and no longer a cop, but I did all that. And, you know, I never retired. It was just like, I needed to make money. And I figured and I'm at a point in my life that I just pick and choose what I want to do, and I don't, and now that I'm getting older, I just don't feel like I'm at the same uh athletic skill set as I was before. I'm not saying I suck. I just
Yeah.
don't feel like it's like the football, like football, man, you're like, do you still have it? Yeah, you can still move a little bit, but you're not as quick. And like I said, I pick and choose my shows. I really
Well,
don't need the money,
hey, come on, Angel, man. This is professional wrestling. You're not supposed to be self-aware of your own abilities because there's
Yeah.
guys out there 70 trying to do it that are embarrassing themselves.
And that's the problem. I just don't want. It's not fair to the fans. And I'm saying I'm in shape. I've been, I'm down to
Yeah.
277. I've been running. I've been working out. But I just know that it's just not. It's not fair to the fans that paid the money to see me, that they're not getting their money's worth. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do shows, but it's just really selective that I'm like, okay, I could do this.
Yeah.
But if it's like if TNA called me and AEW called me, and no, I ain't doing that. I mean, Nana, I trained Nana, and Nana was like, I just saw him recently. Well, not recently, but like when they came to Wichita,
Yeah.
we hung out, and he goes, man, you should come to AEW. I could get you some work, and I said, no, I ain't fucking working for AEW. First of all, I'm not gonna come in to put over Hook or all, because that's what I've been seeing. A lot of guys coming in, and it's nothing, no ego. It's just that whatever legacy I have, I just want to keep what I have. And for
Yep.
me to show up like, here he is, former ECW legend, the
Yeah.
Kingpin Angel, and I do my thing, and then I get squashed.
Yeah.
Then it kind of take.
My
Yeah.
guy, it's $110.
Yeah, and I'm like, and it's not about Hook, it's about anybody. I just don't
No,
want to
you're right.
lose.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose what I have. Now, if it was a storyline and it built up to that point where I lost, that's different. But for me to come in from one shot for $250 just to put this kid over, just to get my, to lose what I have left, nah, I'm all
Yeah.
right. I told
Yeah.
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need
Yeah.
it.
No.
You know.
What about like conventions and things like that? Do you ever get invited
Yeah,
to
I
do
do
some of
those.
those?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be happy to do those. I mean,
Yeah.
I love seeing the fans, love talking to the fans. I love that's a different beast, That's why I'm trying to do other things that still in the wrestling world, I mean, if I could do, shit, I wish I could get a job working for TKO now,
Oh
behind
yeah.
the scenes, or
Yeah.
be an agent like Jerry Lynn. But again,
Uh-huh.
that's not it's a thankless job because, I
Yep.
mean, how much shit do they have to go through? You got to show me some dollars.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It is. It's kind of a cool time though for guys like you, right? That had a good career and got some name value to hang on, right? With the conventions and different things. There's still avenues out there for you to kind of get your fix and beat the crowd. And like you said, you get to pick and choose, right? Do what you want to do and when you want to do it. So there's some things to do. And
Yeah, I mean, the business right now, like I'm a different person compared to the angel that was in the business. And now I don't give a fuck. And I go in the
yeah.
locker room, I don't give a fuck. I just go fuck yourself. Who the fuck are you? I just don't care because you cannot do to me anything that has not been done. You're not going to call me next week to go, hey, we want you to be on this pay-per-view. I'm not being a total dick. I'm just being honest and I'm
Yeah.
being myself instead of holding all. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, whatever you want, sir. And
Yeah.
because you don't want heat. No, I'm all right. Fuck everybody.
Yep. Well, there you go, man. It's man, kind of a weird thing to hear a professional wrestler, man, keeping their self pride in check and knowing their worth. Because sometimes, man, it's embarrassing, man. Some of the guys that I looked up to and that I really enjoyed watching and whatever else, some of the things they do, it's a little embarrassing.
Well,
And
you gotta look at it like this. It's just like acting or any type of acting, sports. When you first start on comedy, when you first start off in the business, you don't have a pot to piss in, right? You're making $150 a night, you have no money, so you have to be humble. You have to eat crow because then because they can fire you and you're shit out of luck. But then when you get to that the Undertaker status, Shawn Michaels status, that money, when you got money in the bank and you don't give a fuck if you get fired because you're rich.
Yep.
You're wiping your ass with $50 bills. You're hiring hookers and sniffing cocaine off their ass jokingly.
Yep.
But when you got that power of like, okay, if they fire me, fuck it.
Yep.
It's good. But when you're broke and a starving artist, then that's when you have to be like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, hey, Angel, man, thanks for coming on here, man. I could talk to you for a while, man. You're highly entertaining.
Well, you
And
could have talked to me for a while since you pulled that high spot on the last one. Oh man, I can't make it because I had a bar mitzvah to go to.
I don't want a bar mitzvah. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't a bar mitzvah. I can guarantee you that.
I understand. It's just like I don't. It's hard for me. Like I said, I pick and choose shows, and I just don't. I don't like doing too many shows because it's nothing against you. It's just I get the same questions. So how long you been in the business? You know, Johnny trained you, and you did great. But I just like to separate it a lot because if I do a show every week, every day of the same question, it's like eating oatmeal with butter on it every day. You're just gonna get like tired of it. So that's why I don't do too many shows because I just still want to be fresh and not be like, oh man, I don't want to repeat this shit. I just said that yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tried to be a little more conversational about it and less whatever, like taking a test. And but I do appreciate your time. And getting with me. I know, like we said, we've been trying to do this for quite a while. And I had to bail on you the one time when we had it scheduled up. And
it's just like a beautiful woman. If you want that date, you have to work at it. So, I had to shut you down a couple times.
Well, I'm glad I earned it back, man. I'm glad I did.
No worries, man. I greatly appreciate you having me on, and if you ever want me back on, I'll be happy to do so.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but do you have a way that fans can follow you to keep up on, like, if you do any appearances or anything like that? Or
dude, I'm easily found. You found me.
Okay.
Trust me. I don't hide from nobody. Nobody. Like I said, if it's a stupid question, I don't answer. But and I get a lot. I hate saying that, but there's a lot of like, oh, dude, why you asking me something like, hey, what's Rob Van Dam like? Bro, dude, I'm watching a movie. I'm having dinner. That's, did you really get stabbed in the ass with a fork with New Jack? Yes. Did it really hurt? Look, dude. I don't say nothing. I say yes, and then I'm like, and then he asks us to. I'm like, I'm not going to answer. It's just ridiculous,
It's kind of an open-ended question, right? What's Rob Van Dam like? Yeah, it's like, which night? It's like,
and I know they're not doing it intentionally, but it's just after a while, it gets like, dude, you're killing me. I appreciate every fan that reaches out to me, that they think of me, they acknowledge me, and I'm not mad at that. It's just some people catch me at the wrong time, like, it's the wrong time. Like, oh my God, I'm making a protein shake and it spilled all over the counter. And this guy goes, hey man, I have a question about New Jack, like, I ain't gonna answer that. It's just, God damn it, I'm busy.
I'm cleaning up my protein shake, man.
It's just, I'm just very picky.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you giving me the time. And I mean, I'd love to do a follow-up with you sometime down the road and give us some time and revisit, maybe talk a little deeper about some certain things. But man, Angel,
no problem, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Just tell me where fans could see this show. So if people want to hear it, I could forward it to them.
I will. Yeah. It'd be just a few weeks because I got several interviews taped ahead of yours.
Wait a minute. Nobody's ahead of the Kingpin, the king of the streets. Well, I mean, it better be somebody more important than me. It better not be Colin Delaney. Or who's the guy with no chin? What was that guy with no chin in WWE?
Oh, yeah. Ellsworth or whatever his name is.
Ellsworth. It better not be somebody ahead of me like that.
No, man. No. I don't.
No worries.
I wouldn't interview Ellsworth anyway. I got nothing to say to that guy.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you for even considering me as a interview. And I appreciate it, man. Even though I joke around a lot, I appreciate people thinking about me and putting me on the show that shows that I still have some relevance in this business.
This is Listen to Their Screams, a horror podcast that feels like you're chatting with friends. Hello, I am one of your friends, Dave. I am one of the co-hosts of Listen to Their Screams with my friend Ike, and we want you to come and check us out. We are a fun-filled, positive horror movie podcast that does reviews, news, birthdays, anniversaries. We play games. We are a ton of fun every week for you, the horror fan out there. For all of our links to our social media and the podcast platforms, just check out our link tree. It is linktr.ee/listen2screams. That is listen, the number 2 and screams. Or look us up on your favorite social media platform and podcast provider.
All right, and thank you to Angel Medina for doing that interview with me. Once again, guys, follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and X under the ECW Pod. Now, the next episode of This Is Extreme will be out on June 8th, and we'll have an interview with Pitbull Gary Wolf. So make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss that episode. And until then, guys, thank you once again for coming back to This Is Extreme. Thank you once again for subscribing, giving us another shot, listening to us. We hope you do enjoy this and are excited about our return. And until next episode, wherever you go and whatever you do, be good, be safe, and always keep it extreme.